4-story sky block. Is that right? Yeah, and make sure the speakers are working and everything. Looks good. Yeah. Okay, so last time we left off, I had made it over to this island, and basically we're waiting on a couple things. We're waiting for the crucible to finish. We're waiting on the trees to grow. Now, I will say, off camera, 2 of the trees grew so far. We have a couple more that should be along, actually 3 more that should be done any moment now. I will admit that I only got 11 of probably 16 logs that I could have had, because quite a few of them from this tree fell right down into the void there. But I got a boatload of sticks and planted a few more trees as well. One concern that's starting to grow on my mind is food. I probably need to start thinking about that more deeply. I also need to think about making more charcoal, because I've only got 8. That should be enough for an initial batch of maybe 10 units of bronze or so, maybe 11. But it's not going to be enough for much more than that. So I think what I probably need to start doing is getting more firewood. So I'm going to take this. Yeah, I'm just going to make another thing of charcoal. I'm just going to do 1. Alright, we'll get 4 for the fire on top. And let's just do it down here. Right. Okay, and then I've been slowly collecting grass. I'm up to 20 now. I'm almost enough to make a bed. Okay. So now I need blocks there, and there, basically. But let's start with those 2. Do I have any blocks? Oh, I do have this bald cypress logs. I could make yeah, let's just make cobblestone with this fire clay. And I'll do basalt. And then we'll just place these here, there. Alright, let's start the charcoal pit. Okay. And yeah, we get the tooltip on the block above the opening there. So alright. And somehow these 2 flowers have made this beehive large population. So, you know, eventually when the cattails start growing more, we'll be able to, you know, improve that situation. But for now, let's improve our situation by replacing dirt blocks with other blocks. And we can place these somewhere. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is probably make it to this island. The other 2 islands are fine, but I think I want this island for the pine tree. Oh, also, I was gonna go ahead, you know, I was wondering if this tree was gonna bloom again, and it's just not clear to me that it is, so I think maybe it's time to take some clippings of the tree. So I'm gonna stand up here. And we'll get these clippings done, and then we'll plant these and hopefully maybe expand our long-term food access. Do these turn into firewood? I don't mind it if they turn into firewood, but because for once, like, that's a crucial resource. But it looks like they're actually turning into the sapling itself. So let's see, that's 4. Oh, and I did get some apples there. That's nice. I guess there were apples that I hadn't harvested. So that'll keep me going for a little bit longer. And I could get 2 more here. I guess I should. Yeah, I'm getting more fruit each time I knock one of these down for some reason. I don't know if that's something that's for this mod pack, or if it's something that I did. Or it's just part of the game, I mean. Either way, I'll take the extra 29 apples. And so now we need to figure out how to plant these. So 1, 2... Oh boy, that's gonna be tough. I would like to plant it right there. But let's see. Yeah, because you can get... This is in the way now. I'll tell you what. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I could plant one here. And I could probably plant one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, I can plant one here. Although that gets close to the fire situation. I'll tell you what, let's do it here. Get those back in there. I don't know why I have... Now that I have storage, there's no reason for all this stuff on the ground. It's messy. This one I had... Oh yeah, one more granite. Okay. So now I've got potentially 3 apple trees. And we can go with a 4th maybe over here. And I've got 3 more that I can plant. Let's go for one here, I guess. How about over by the pumpkin? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then maybe one all the way over here. Okay, so we'll see which ones of those survive, and maybe we'll get lucky, maybe we won't. By the way, our food is coming along. Most of them have grown to stage 2, including the cabbage, the flax, and most urgently these turnips. I may, in fact, I know for a fact I'm going to need to hoe more of these fields. So let's just do that. This gives me a little bit more room to work with. I'm going to need to replace that at some point. But whenever these get done, hopefully I'll get bonus seeds and I'll just plant them over next to each other, and we'll start, crop rotating quite immediately. But waiting on these oak trees, and it looks like this is done. Okay, so let's deal with that. So we do have a couple bowls and a cooking pot now. And we could make juice out of this apple if we had the right stuff, but we don't have the ability to cook with it, per se. But I can finally make metal. And we do have 2 ingot molds and an anvil mold. So theoretically we need 900 plus, 200 more would be the ideal amount to start with. So let's see if we can't figure something out with our bronze, because we can skip right over copper since we already have tin. So we need a 9-to-1 ratio. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so that's 900 right there. That's enough for the anvil. That's for 1 ingot on top of the anvil, and I would like another one. We'll probably have to throw 1 more bronze nugget, or tin nugget. Actually, no. Can I get away with 19? 18 I can get away with, okay. Okay, so there's 1100. Okay, that's about as evenly distributed as I can get it. I'm not sure if that matters. I just like to keep it even. Okay. And so we're using up the vast majority of our copper, which I'm fine with, because it's part of progression. And I'm relatively sure that this 8 coal will get the job done, hopefully. 17 hours on that charcoal pit, so we'll have more coming along soon. We do have the tongs already. So I say let's light her up. Actually, you know what? For once, I'm actually going to do the thing where we preheat the oven, just to make sure we don't blow it with this coal. So we'll preheat with firewood. Switch over to coal when it's max temp. Okay, so that's heating up. You might as well put the tongs in the offhand. We're not even holding any form of light. Okay, let's check on this. Okay, so these will get us up to 700. And that's going to be just about the right amount. And then the coal will get us above and beyond that. Yeah, we'll just let that burn down and start the next one. Do you... No. I was tempted to like throw more in, but I think I've got the game plan. Let's just stick to the game plan here. So we're just about at that 700 level, both in terms of the crucible itself as well as the fireplace itself. It gets slower, just like, you know, energy. The higher energy you get, the more energy you need to get it to a higher state. But that's actually the perfect amount to get it right up to 700, and we're not wasting a damn thing with the coal. And then the coal is going to shoot this up to 1100. No, 1300, sorry. And I think that should be enough. Let's hope to God. If it's not, it's going to be a long playthrough, because we're going to need a lot more charcoal. I mean, we probably already do need a lot more charcoal. In the meantime, I can continue my lifelong fight against auto waypoint markers. Okay, now she's cooking. I think there's probably a way I can space this out a little bit. I can kind of play with this a little bit and like let the residual heat work for a minute before I put the next coal in. I'm gonna kind of do that. Just consider it's like microing the fireplace. And that's about max temp, but it's gonna start dropping. As long as I don't let it fall below 1100 or so, it should be fine. Because this just needs to stay at that level. And I think the hotter I get it, the more quickly this will go. And they're roughly the same level here. I'm not sure about that. It might go at the same speed. I don't know if it'll go faster. I'll put one in there and just get that to max temp. But once that gets to max temp, I don't see any reason why I shouldn't let this cool down a little bit in between coals. I mean, it looks like it's going to make it. We're about halfway through our coal. Quite a bit of residual heat there. And we're not even done with that fourth one yet. And it's getting to that halfway point. So, and we're at max temp now. So I'm just gonna let this cool down a little bit and see how long the residual temperature lasts. So that cools down rather dramatically. But this residual temperature stays pretty decent. Yep. I'm probably being a little bit overly cautious with it. I think I'm just gonna let it play out. Now, I'm very disappointed that these saplings haven't grown. I mean, is it something to do with my proximity? I doubt it. I don't think that's part of... I've seen trees grow right on my back door before, but that being said, I'm just curious what would happen if I ran down here. It's probably like a watch pot never boils kind of thing. It's a false understanding of nature. We are getting birds, by the way, which is nice. And our goats are hanging out pretty well down here. Alright, let's go back. Yeah, it's funny, the birds must spawn just based on the land mass here. We've got bees as well, clearly, but that's just a particle effect. The birds are actually programmed creatures. There's a rift. They look so cool up in the sky like that, honestly. Okay, I might space this one out a little bit. I am deeply concerned. I mean, we're 3/4 of the way there, but we only have whatever remains of this coal plus the last one here. But then again, that is residual heat that's going to keep it cooking for a little while after we run out of coal. I think if I just buy a few seconds, it might be worth it. Yeah, it's dropping, but it drops so slowly, you see. So I'm going to go ahead and use the last coal just to make sure. So I'm going to let that play out. We're almost ready to pour. No progress on the trees. What about the berries? 5 days to flower on the blueberries. I haven't moved them since the game started. Same with the black currants. 5 days for flowering on that as well. Go ahead and have a bite to eat real quick before we pour these. You can see the wolf over on that black shale island or whatever it is. Okay, so that was the last coal, and that temperature didn't even catch up to where the residual heat was. So this will now drop. That last coal was basically worthless, I think. I should really test this out mechanically, because yeah, we're definitely getting this residual temperature to finish cooking these. But it'll be done any second now, and then we'll pour it out into the anvil. Sweet. And the ingots. And get ourselves into the metal age. And we're going to skip right over the achievement of the copper age. Okay, there's the anvil. 200 left. We'll make it into these 2 ingots. I, of course, would love more ingot molds, but it's kind of a function of, well, we're actually just kind of... I just realized we're not going to be able to pound those ingots out, because we're not going to be able to reheat them without charcoal. Well, I'm glad I started that charcoal pit when I did. Fuck. We could sleep. It is 1 o'clock. Or I could make a bone. Let's make another bone pickaxe in the meantime. And with the pickaxe, we can continue our operations here while we wait for these trees to grow and while we wait for that next charcoal. I really should have tried to save one of those, shouldn't I? 15 hours on that, so it's going to be tomorrow morning in-game. That's okay, we've got other things we can do. Although I've completely destroyed this, haven't I? So let's see, how can I... I'm going to have to repair this before I can make more stuff there. Okay, let me grab this. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to create a water place. Let me get this and put this over here. Because I think we need to make the water... We had it right here, basically, on top of what that block is. I think. Possibly right there. And I don't have any... You know what, let's pan... Hopefully we get a little bit more clay. Yeah, let's pan for more clay. And we can make some more cobblestone. Yeah, we might as well use this up anyway. Okay, so we're panning. We are getting tons of clear quartz. I don't think there's any use for clear quartz other than lanterns and possibly glass. I guess it is used for some, you know, decorative things that are part of a mod. Quartz glass. Oh yeah, that's right, I can make quartz glass. Man, I always forget about that. And I have plenty of both sticks and quartz. Let's make a bunch of quartz glass. That would be an easy solution to my problems. I don't want to necessarily use all my quartz on that, but... There. Okay, so this will give us all the blocks we need to get the water going, running again. Alright. So now, we'll put water here, and we'll be good to go. And while we're on the topic, I could just start making the bridge out to this next island as well. Alright, so, water. Oh yeah, you know what? I realized that, so I don't quite remember how this goes, but I think I need to move these. By the way, I got these these metal parts and the lapis from panning you know. So I think I'm going to put that there. And then I think what's going to happen is I'm going to remove this glass. And then this. And then that block should pop off. Okay. Well, I could put the glass there, though. Okay, let's try that. Let's see how this goes. Okay. I did injure myself. Okay. Water. Water. Okay. Yeah, so that's how I died the first time. You can see how easy that would be. Fortunately, it's not quite as devastating as Minecraft. But let's see. We did get essentially what I was expecting. So I think it worked. I think I just stepped on the lava. So let me try again, this time without doing that. I'm just going to stay right on this block and not move. Sweet. Okay, so we've got the same setup from before. I just didn't quite recognize that at first. And the nice thing about this bone pickaxe is that it mines slowly enough that it doesn't interfere with, you know, you don't have to risk breaking other blocks. Okay, so that's nice. And again, you know, this is kind of the thing where I would sometimes come over here and, you know, consider replacing, you know, blocks like this. Although, my concern, yeah, that one might fall off. But if I go down here, that concern is less dramatic. Perfect. And even we can get this one as well. I think that's fine. Oh yeah, well, probably leave that for the tree. Okay. But then we've got 2 more grass blocks. And I've just been expanding the island out the more grass blocks I get. Kind of lost focus on that cradle scaffolding. And the real question is, what am I gonna do with these things, these ingots? Probably the right move here is to, well, obviously I have to wait for the charcoal. 13 hours on that. Still waiting on these oak trees too. Yeah, the 2 things we're gonna be doing in the meantime is panning and digging. So let's go ahead and just do a little bit more panning. Again, really hoping for some clay. Oh, the oak tree grew there, right in front of us. Tell you one thing I don't need is more spear tips. And again, I guess I wouldn't mind more clear quartz at this point either. Alright, so with a little bit of panning here, we've definitely got some progress being made. We've got more metal coming in, which is good. We're running low on copper. And I don't mind the lime stones either. We'll make that into lime, or possibly gravel. And I was about to say there's a finite amount, but there's not. Because we can buy lime from the commodities trader, theoretically. But let's just finish off this last couple layers of sand. Okay. Okay, so actually that wasn't the best. Not the best panning I've ever done. Where'd the clear quartz go? There it is. So we're getting a decent collection of limestones. Where's my sphalerite? There it is. Okay, so we do have a bit of sphalerite. This chest has that bismuth in it. I may as well take these out now and dismantle this chest. It served its purpose, but it's now no longer a chest. It is a obstacle. And then we can make this spear. And we'll place this on the rack here. So we've got we've got one flint, 2 copper spears there, and more spears there. So we've got tons of spears. I need to run to the kitchen real quick. I'll be back in like 3 minutes. Hang tight. Oh wow, okay, sorry about that. Obviously, I'm continuing my proud tradition as the best streamer ever by walking away from the stream for 5 minutes. And speaking of stream, let me just make sure. I'm just pulling up my chat since I didn't have that open earlier. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now, back to the game. So we've obviously got the oak trees growing, and then how's that? 11 hours in the fire pit. It is 5:08, so we can sleep pretty soon. I'm not even gonna bother with the sticks this and the, you know, getting all the potential acorns and everything, because I think at this point I've surpassed the point of pretty good comfort on that. And yes, I know I could be making obsidian axes and that would be better, but this flint is going to go to waste otherwise, because I don't have any durability on a hammer to make it into chert pebbles. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, let's grab this one first. It's the easy one. Easy, of course. It takes forever to chop down a tree with a stone axe. Oh, you know what? I need to switch to this axe. There we go. That's better. I just saw that planted tree sprout its little deal, its little thing. Yeah, I always forget that there's no block under here. Maybe I should do that with this. Okay, I can't quite reach. I could risk jumping in the water, but I don't think I will. We may not have gotten an acorn out of that one, so I may have been a little... I knew this was happen. Where I regret not doing the careful approach. Because I don't think we did get any acorns out of that one, did we? Okay. Well, in light of that, it might be prudent to be more careful with this one. Let me put this beef away. And the clear quartz can go in here. And I can make these into spears. And put them on yet another rack. Oh, whoops. I'll put the rack over here, I guess. Now, this one. Now, this one I will be careful with. Before we chop it down, let's just take a little time to try to get some acorns and more sticks and stuff. We're not going to necessarily do the whole panoply of all these leaves, but we'll do quite a few of them. And I'm using just my bare hands on this. Again, in the real game, you know, if you weren't restricted like this, you would be using maybe, well, certainly shears would be optimal, but maybe you'd be using an axe. And you actually wouldn't even hardly be, on an oak tree, you probably wouldn't even be doing this. There's so many leaves on an oak tree that it almost isn't really needed. But I especially want to get a lot of these branchy leaves, which are all but guaranteed to drop at least a stick. Okay, so that's probably... Yeah, I got 2 acorns and a whole bunch of sticks. Probably gonna... Let me get rid of this while I'm over here. Okay, and I didn't pick that up. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and chop this puppy down. Again, it'll take a minute. And that, I believe, will conclude our first 5 expansion oak trees. We're going to get most of these logs. We might lose a couple. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's 2 stacks of logs there. So we're now up to 60 oak logs in our storage. And just kind of combing through here to see if there's any more sticks or acorns. Does not appear to... Oh, there was 1 acorn hanging out down there. 4. Okay, now we've got 4 acorns. Okay, so now we can plant our next round of trees. We've got a few hanging out already. In fact, I'm going to just plant them all right here. Okay. And now what we'll do is we'll sleep. We'll come back and get the charcoal and we'll make our metal. 9 hours on that. We'll sleep for 8 of those. We'll be pretty close. Actually, I'm going to transplant. This one just sprouted. I'm going to transplant this to the other island. Yeah, that's fine. And incidentally, these I'm sure are ready to go, but we'll just keep them there for now. We do have a bald cypress growing on this island as well. A single bald cypress, the one seed that we did get from the last tree. But I can also plant that oak tree there. Now these guys are mean, and I want to make this more protective. A more protective way to get up here. So let's borrow this and place it right there. And I'll just put a wooden thing there. Perfect. Now we have a lot more leeway. We don't have to stand next to the goat. And the ram in particular is very mean. Oh, and we have borax here. Okay, that's huge. I need a bronze pickaxe to get it, but that means we can make that iron anvil eventually. Alright, let's go ahead and sleep. And this will get us most of the way done with that charcoal pit. And I really need to just keep making more charcoal. There's no reason not to. We're going to need to do more metalworking. It just makes good sense. Now we're going to wake up pretty early in the morning here. It is September 1st, so it's still dark out at this time of year. And let's see if any animals have spawned. I gotta always remember that... Oh, we just had a meteoric explosion there. That's interesting. That's an interesting angle for the meteor. Oh, and the bamboo grew. Look at that. And another oak tree. Jeez. Okay, we're definitely in a period of expansion at this point. And I love this sunrise twilight here. Whatever they call that. Yeah, the bamboo looks nice. Now, of course, we need to harvest that in such a way that we can get more. But just for the record, bamboo has uses, and we can definitely use it. First of all, we can make like roof. we can make these blocks, which is probably one really good way to get from side to side on this map. We can make a recurve bow, we can make a hat, and a shield. So, just generically very useful. Alright, so, especially on this map. I have a bite to eat real quick, and that charcoal pit might well be done. The bamboo looks particularly good in this, like, early sunrise lighting. Alright, let's see. That one? Yeah, so I think it just finished. I believe we just finished. Yep, we did. Okay. And of course the game's gonna think I'm marking a peridot waypoint. Like an Olvine. Okay. So now we've got 8 more charcoal, not to mention this dirt block. Let me put this somewhere. Okay. So, with all of that, I think we'll go ahead and start our metal working. We do have the anvil now, as well. So put those in there. I believe I'll need 2 charcoal to heat that up. We're gonna make a saw and a pickaxe. I'm absolutely sure that's what I need. Although we need a hammer too, don't we? Fuck. Which do I need more? The reality is I need both. I'm gonna make the saw and hammer first. Then we'll make a pickaxe. So, what I'll do is I'll do another crucible. And I'll just do 1 ingot worth. 18 and 2. Should be the right combo there. No, shit. Okay, that should do. And I believe I only need like 1. Let's preheat, and then we probably just need 1 coal. Maybe 2 on that. I'll just do 6. That'll keep me give me sufficient time to do my initial job on these. Now let's get the hammer. So we start out with the hammer because this hammer only has 51 durability. We're gonna need that other hammer pretty much immediately. Oh, it's taking forever to heat up though. Is that... I'm very, very concerned about how long these are taking to heat up. It feels slower than normal. Let's keep our eyes on this real quick. It could just be a feeling more than a reality. I can see them starting to lighten in tone, which is good. And I believe you can work them over 700, so I believe they are now workable. But I need them to be quite a bit hotter than that to have the time that I need. Especially when I'm doing 2. Okay, it seems to be okay. Let's just put these in here now. Okay, this is going to be fine. Alright, I'll start with 1. hammer. Let's see if I've worked this out correctly. Sweet. Okay, that is load off for sure. So now I have a better and secondary hammer. But then we can go ahead and take this and make the saw. It is now fully heated, and frankly, that's being completely paranoid about the timing on that. So let me just choose saw blade. Where is it? Right there. Let me just double check on that. Okay, that's good to go as well. Let's get this poured. So that's going to be our pickaxe. But I'm glad that worked out. Yeah, we used both coals. Okay, I only needed one coal on that. Alright, let's pound this saw blade out. Oh, shoot. I hate it when the hammer breaks and then it changes your direction that you're working on. Okay, there's that side. And then this one. And now we remove the excess. Somewhat carefully. We don't have the perks to justify the type of recklessness that I have been known to use while metalsmithing. And we're also at a stage in the game where we're not getting excess stuff. We've got 11 out of 40 on metalworking. It's going to be a while until we get the perks to start really maximizing that. But there is our saw, which is awesome. We can now make planks, which means we can probably get to that island more or less immediately now with all the oak wood that we've harvested. Okay, so I'm very concerned about meteoric expansion destroying my dirt. I guess if that happens, I might have to administratively address that. Okay, so yeah, we've done everything we need to do here. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a stack of oak and make it into boards. And then, I guess, should I use slabs or should I use full planks? I mean, the slab's probably the right answer there. So I'm just going to make maximum amount, and that should be enough to get me over there. So I think let's put away some things we don't need, per se. I might take the axe with. I'll take the damaged axe. I'll leave that and the pickaxe here. And then I'll take the shovel. The saw. Can I put this? Oh, sweet. I didn't even know I could lean it there. Okay, very nice. Okay, so let's start making our way over here. Holding shift, of course. Precarious as always. But as long as I don't let the shift key come undone, we should be okay. And it looks like we're going to make it just fine. I'm looking at the mini-map. Now, the problem is, and I probably should have anticipated this, there is a polar bear over here. So what I'm inclined to do is get close with these boards and then go back, maybe get the spears and kill it. I would love to capture the polar bear, but I don't see a good, easy way to do so. And then this one's full of ice. We'll have to think about how we can use that. Hello, Mr. Polar Bear. I would like it if you didn't have to kill me. Oh, he has a friend. He has a buddy. Oh, man. Okay, he jumped off. So he's gone. That's just as well, I guess. I mean, I'd rather harvest... Actually, you know what? I don't want to risk the other one jumping off, because I'd like to harvest their supplies. Oh, and by the way, before I... Oh, there's a fox that spawned. Well, at some point what we're going to be doing, honestly, is we're going to be manipulating spawning mechanics to get, like, boars and shit. So we will have access to plenty of leather. Oops. But I don't see any problem with trying to get something going here. Alright. See, the thing is, it would be really nice to have inventory, you see. And even just one batch of leather could get me just one leather bag. And that would be fine. I think this might work. Well, kind of. Shit. Okay, I think I have to risk running over there and grabbing the spears. The bear will probably jump out at me. How's that bear still alive? Okay, there it goes. Okay. So I believe I can lean these up like so. And we're definitely going to be carefully harvesting this tree, because we want as many pine cones as possible. There's one already, which is great. And I'm very, very curious now what this trader is. It's always so exciting to get to a new island in this. I wish I would have thought of what I was going to do with these bears before I came over, because I did lose out on one. Although, you know what? I don't even have the butchering mod going right now, which means I'm not even going to get full drops on this. So the truth is, I'm probably just as well. I did get a temporal fragment finally. I think that's the first thing I've killed in this playthrough. Alright, let's go ahead and chop it down. Let me make a new axe. I think there's flint on this island. I'm satisfied with the 3 pine cones there. And I'm probably gonna get more. One nice thing about the butchering mod is that I can pick this guy up with my empty inventory slots there. Okay. Again, we're still at 3 pine cones. Looking for just 1 or 2 more, maybe, that fell down here. Gotta be careful with this ice and whatnot. All these little particle effects are so distracting. We got a few sticks, but I'm gonna... Oh, I can't plant that in the snow, huh? Okay. I'll take it back home and plant it. But looking just real quick down here, I don't see any more goodies, any sticks or pine cones. Yeah, so we'll have to leave it at that. And of course... These things are up in the air. Let me lean these somewhere. Oh, well. Okay, so let me try to get these. Okay. This is silly. There we go. Took a little damage there, that's okay. Where did the one didn't I just toss one? What is that? Is that a frozen fish? I didn't even know they could freeze. Okay, so I think that's all my spears, honestly. Oops, I did not mean to gather the snow. I meant to place my spear down. But I guess I can't. Yeah, I didn't optimize that, did I? That's okay. Can I put it like here, maybe? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Weird, but whatever. Okay, so now all of our spears are over here. I may try to get them back to my main island at some point, but for now, we do have an agriculture supplier. That's a big deal. Alright, so we could purchase more pine cones. We could purchase a redwood, which I'm very tempted to, almost immediately. I can sell them pumpkins, which are huge, because I'm going to be making pumpkins. In fact, that's going to be a huge source of income for me. We can sell them bronze tools, which I'm very reluctant to do. Or we can sell them soybeans, which we don't have the access to. He will sell me honey, cranberries, honey beeswax, which I could buy 2 of those and make a candle, which will lead to a lantern eventually. So yeah, we've got some good options there. Although in-game these things are not accessible, I was just checking to see, and we do have a resonator, which means we can play music that we find. Boy, that looks like completely the same as the background there, doesn't it? Okay, so the only other thing just to keep in mind is that there is a treasure chest on this island, I think, at least according to the wiki. So, you know, we could, if I had the shovel, for example, it'd be a lot easier, but I could dig down just to see if I can find this. The snow blocks exist too. We can take those and use them for building or whatever. Yeah, they're just blocks. They have no other purpose in the game. Let me just poke down here into what appears to be the center of the island just to see if I can maybe possibly find or get eyes on where this treasure chest might be. And since we're dealing in ice, it might be more easy to come by than others. Because we can see further. Although this side of the island is pretty snowy, it looks like. I don't see any anomalies that look like a treasure chest. And that kind of tells me that it might be over in this more snowy area. Although, okay, now we've got black coal, which is awesome. Because I'm going to need that for forging and stuff. That's great. These ice cubes go quickly. The snow, not as much. We did not do this yet on the Lime Island either. I just figured this might be faster on this one. Packed glacial ice. Right. Well, I don't see the treasure chest. I'm, you know, extremely nervous about poking around in the interior of this island without knowing kind of where the edges are and where the, where I might fall off the world, the edge of the world, per se. I mean, I'm just looking around generally. I don't see a sign of what I'm looking for. It might be down here in this less transparent area. More black coal, which is good. Let's just maybe poke our head over here. This is a little bit more translucent. Okay, we're on the edge of this island thing. It is very hard to see what I'm doing, I will admit that. This coal is very much a godsend, though. It is badly needed. Okay, there's the edge here. And just noting my inventory, we're getting a little bit full up on this normal ice. So I might want to think about, you know, getting back to the surface and going back to the main island, doing something with this bear carcass that I've got on me. Probably be good. So let's start heading up. We did not find the chest yet, but we did make an incursion. We did find black coal. And of course the other factor is that it's very slippery up here. As far as I know, the chest could be at the very bottom of this thing, and that probably requires more planning to get to. And frankly, the optimal thing to do, probably, is to go ahead and use, you know, blocks that we have infinite ability to get more of, like wood, to cradle the bottom of the glacier and just mine up every block and put it in storage. That's probably the right move. Well, I can make crates now, too. I should probably start doing more back on the home island to address my inventory issues. Okay, but that constitutes my first stab at trying to find the chest. I think that's the flint right there. Yeah. And you can always store flint by just generically plopping it down and picking some random design, and then you can always get that later. Okay, so now let's talk about how we're going to get out of here. Being very careful towards the edge here, but let's make a staircase here. And boom. Okay. And I'm just going to use those two. That way we can take one of our spears back. Okay. So now we've made it to 2 of the 4 islands, side islands, that is. By the way, he has a lantern on top. Does he have a lantern inside? Because if he has one inside, I'm going to take the top one for sure. He has one inside. I'm going to take the top one. And I love this chest as well. I really want to take... Actually, I should just take this chest, shouldn't I? Okay. So first things... Tell you what, let's place the axe in there for now. Grab that chest. Okay. I wonder if this is the first island you're supposed to go to, because that lantern is a big deal. And it's an extra lantern because there's still a lantern inside his caravan. Okay, so we're back on the main... Oh, there's a fox. Okay, and he's just hanging out there. So that's fine. So I'm going to put this chest right there. Put the pine wood in there, and we're doing pretty good on inventory for once. Plant a couple of these pine trees around here. Can't really be squeamish about where you plant these things right now. I'll put this spear away. Now, I probably need to process the bear, and I'm not going to take the time. See, normally you could do a butcher table. In fact, we very well could just do that. But before we do that, we need a butcher hook. And we probably could, well, do we have, I don't think I have any resin, do I? No, I don't. So, you know what I just thought of? What if that tree had a resin on it? I might have to go back and look at that. Because, although I think I can buy resin from the commodities guy, if that tree had a resin drip on it and I just chopped it down, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I'll look at that offline. But, yeah, I'm not even going to try to make a butchering facility because I don't have resin, so put this guy down, and I'm just going to butcher him the old school, traditional way, and we're just going to have to accept that we're going to get only a partial. Hello? Okay, it's not letting me butcher him. That's not good. Okay, so... Yeah, the butchering mod's really fucking me up right now. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to work around this a little bit. Hi, Fluffy Panda 01 EXP. I think we're gonna work around the butchering mod by... I'm gonna look up the loot table for a polar bear, and I'm just gonna give myself a randomly selected cross sample of what one might expect. Okay. Wow, I've got to be honest, I'm looking at the, this is really cool. Hold on. So, first of all, pretty extensive wiki here. And, here's the drops. So, 20 to 24 bushmeat, huge hides, 3, why is it, what's the asterisk? 3-point asterisk. 24 asterisk. Well, I think what it's getting at is there's a chance for more. The minimum is 3, and there's a chance for additional. So, I'm gonna give myself 3 fats. No, I'm gonna split the baby on the fat. I'm gonna give myself 4 fats, 3 huge hides, 22 bushmeat. But anyway, what I was getting at is, this is, they have citations in the wiki, and if you look at this, it's citing literally 2 lines of the JSON, the Java file of this game, which I think is bananas. The citation is just really good work. It's like if a graduate student wrote the wiki or something, you know what I mean? Hang on one second, I gotta check something. Okay. So, yeah, and we can look up all the different animals and the spawn conditions and all that, but I think what I'm gonna do, just because this butchering mod is fucking me up, and I know I could uninstall the butchering mod, then butcher the bear, and blah blah blah. But what I'm gonna do, just to simplify that, is throw that guy down, and then we're just gonna go over to creative, and we're gonna just grab a few things. So bushmeat, and I think we said 22 on that. I'm gonna give a large carcass, and then we're gonna do fat, and then we're gonna do huge a huge hide. Alright. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so now we'll go back over to survive. You know what? No, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. back over to survival. I was like tempted to give myself double because there was another bear there at one point, but it was my bad. I went over there and scared him off, and we're just gonna have to accept that. Okay. So first things first, with the resources that we have, we need to immediately cook, well, yeah, pretty much immediately cook this meat so we can start eating on it. The apples will stay good for a lot longer than the meat, so let's go ahead and grab our axe and make some firewood. And get that cooking up. Alright, and then I gotta decide what to do with this. Now, I could make this into leather. Or I could make it into pelts. Now, what the pelts would give me is options for winter clothing and a hunter backpack. And apparently a leather backpack. Oh, I can just keep using the pelts to upgrade. That's cool. Okay. The hunter backpack would be... I would need reeds, and I don't have a lot of those. So my inclination is to go with leatherworking, and now we do have the ability to do this now, so let's do it. So I'm going to take... See, I already used a shovel on some of my lime sand earlier, and I got 16 lime out of that, so... And I'm just curious how much I need for Mr. Bear to be processed. Let's get... I've got 40 lime now. Alright, so... Soak tight. Lime water for 1 hide, so I need 30. So this is like 3/5 of a leather project here. Oh, and by the way, get the saw back. Let's make a couple more barrels. We're just gonna need that for general purposes, but leatherworking in particular right now. Barrels are simply made by going like this. Okay. Now, we need to get the 30 lime water going, so let's start with that. Oops. Shit. I always do that. I always forget. I always forget which command sets the thing down and which one dumps it out. Okay, so putting that away, and then we go and add 30 lime to this lime water. Add three soaked hides after 20 hours. So we'll go ahead and do that. In the meantime, we need to start preparing our equivalent amounts of tannin. So I'm just going to fill 2 barrels with 30 more water. back down. Then, with these two, we need... I believe it's going to be 3 logs apiece. Yep. So that's weak tannin. And we're going to make strong tannin out of one of them later, but we have to start with the weak tannin. Okay. So now we are well underway with our leather making. I never thought that would be the case at this point, but it is. Guess it couldn't hurt to harvest that new oak tree. Let's just do that. We're doing good on... I guess this is the last of the first generation. I didn't realize there was another one. We're doing pretty good on wood resources now, but I do want to just keep getting just a little bit of a edge on getting an acorn by manually harvesting leaves. And no such advantage has been gained on this oak tree. Alright, but I'll take all those extra sticks nonetheless. Okay, we'll just take a risk here. I mean, we've got extra oak trees growing. We're not going to lose out on the species if we harvest this. Takes a minute, of course, with these flint axes, but that's the nature of a skyblock. Is you're gonna have that. Okay, so yep, not a single goddamn acorn. That's okay though. All these are oaks. It's fine. Okay. So, oh, and I'm going to need a little bit more firewood on this fire, probably. Yeah, I'll just put all that on. So it's nice to have a new source of food. Source is a loose term. I'll put these in our oak log crate. Now, I've got 4 fat. I'm going to make 1 oil lamp. I'll save the rest for some other stuff. And I do have this carcass, which you can make into bone. Okay. I think that's something to do with creative mode. I'm going to give myself, I don't know, 8 bones. That sounds fair, right? I think something about me placing that from the creative mode menu just made that not give me the reward that I deserve. So I just cheated that in. But I cheated it in good faith, because again, I'm adapting to a map that is not perfect, and that frankly the mods I have aren't optimized for. Okay, I could kill that fox. I probably should. And oh yeah, I probably should be thinking about making more more charcoal, right? I will go ahead and light this up. And then let's put this right here for now. Perfect. Is that a butterfly or a bird? It's a bird. I'm looking forward to seeing butterflies, hopefully, at some point. One thing that I don't know, concerned is not the right word, but the lack of flowers is going to be a negative in this playthrough. Continuing our ever-elusive quest for more grass. Oh boy. Well, we continue to trample around like an elephant. Okay. We are getting there on the grass. We're at 21. Of course, we're going to need to do another pit kiln at some point, probably. Alright, let's grab that. Okay, I'm going to take a stack of these. And now I am going to make these into full planks. And we're going to do some work on our undercarriage of our main island. Alright. Before I do that, I'm going to bang this into a pickaxe, though. I need to harvest that guy. So let's bang... Can I reach him? Yeah, now the game is letting me harvest the carcass directly. Except for I can't reach it. I'm gonna have a pickaxe in just a minute, hold on. Let this heat up just a little bit more. It should get it like up to, like, one coal will get a single ingot north of 900 degrees, but it won't get it fully hot. But if it's up around 900 or so, it's going to be completely workable. Yeah, there it is, exactly 900. Okay. So pickaxe. Fairly easy recipe, of course. That's why we love a good pickaxe. Better than a falx. Falx is the worst, I think. And then plates get monotonous. I do think it is conceivable that we will get to the point of having automated, health hammer stuff at some point in this playthrough. But there we go, there's our pickaxe. Okay, so now we'll place this hammer back down. Very, very pleased to have a bronze pickaxe now, because I can finally break up the rest of this island, I think. Alright, let's... What do we got in here? Nothing? Okay. Well, that's again the butchering mod screwing me over there. I can tell you that the correct drop rates for Fox Vintage Story is 1 to 3 bushmeat, 1 to 2 small rawhides. Again, the asterisk confuses me. It's 2.5 means 2 plus 50% chance. 3 point asterisk. So is that 3 plus 50% chance? Oh, it's okay. Well, that's yeah. It's really hard to understand what that is saying. But there's a chance for those things. I guess I'll accept that I just got unlucky on that one and not spawn those things in for myself. I might try disabling the butchering mod before I start the next session. But anyway. Okay, so that's all done. So grab that meal. Put these apples in here. What's the... see, that's so weird to me that apples decay less quickly in my inventory than in there. That's supposed to be a, good place for food to not rot as quickly, right? No, anyway. Okay. Last thing I'm gonna do on today's exciting, well, this current hour's exciting episode, I'll probably play again later today. I'm gonna go down to the underside, and we're just gonna use these planks to finish our scaffolding under the island. Now, one caveat that I should mention, that lava might flow on this side. So I'm always going to avoid, to the extent that I can, putting planks near where the lava might flow. And I also acknowledge, without hesitation, that this is going to look butt ugly. And I just don't care. Okay, and I will take this back. Well, I'll take it back in a minute. Also, maybe get some support under that water. But let's start with this kind of stuff. And it's nice to not really have to aim. I mean, I could be aiming if I cared more about the texture alignment. Let's get rid of this one. Alright, and then we go over here. And we'll get these, like so. Okay, and since we got a few extra of these, we can put these in the lava area. More so, like that. And then we'll keep doing planks over here, except for one thing that I would like to do is I would like to maybe come up here real quick. And I think I can reach the others from above, but I'm just going to start the process of closing off this waterfall. Now, it's not to say that I don't mind, that I don't like the waterfall. It's kind of nice. Maybe I should keep one block open and just let it have like a 1 block wide waterfall. But overall, I do feel the need to close that down because I feel like I'm going to fall through it at some point. And in any event, I know I'm losing items through it. Especially when I start harvesting my farm fields. That's going to be a big issue. Okay, so that is a pretty good platform. Now, one thing a couple things. I can definitely get this iron ore, but I would like to get some standalone peridotite rock to make querns, and I think I would like to try to aim for at least 2. So I'm going to do that by knocking out the blocks around it. We're going to get olivine as well here. Apparently pebbles as well. Theoretically, this should give me a full block of peridotite. And there it is. Sweet. Okay, let's see if I can do that again. Actually, yeah, it's fine. I see that I'm gonna not have enough inventory. Wait, can I put this down? Yes, okay. So I'll be okay. And I can probably put the iron ore down too. This one might get away from me, I was gonna say, but did not. Right. I cannot put the iron ore down, so it's good that we can put the peridotite. I'm hearing interesting music in the background. Oh, it's that it's that sound. It's the good sound song. I like this song. It's my favorite, probably my favorite Vintage Story song. I used to think it was creepy. Okay, and we just need one more. We'll go for this one. And this is the benefit of having an undercarriage under the main island, is that we can start to do this stuff finally. Okay, so we've got a good enough supply now for all that. Let's head back up. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and grab... Well, let's put this away first, and that. And we don't have the ability to pulverize anything yet, do we? But we could make some gravel there. Now let's just put this down. We'll pan this eventually. But for now, let's make a quern just to see what we can use that for. And in this game, quern is made like this, which is different than Terra Firma Craft for those who have played that. It's a different recipe. Okay. Put that there for now. And, whoops. I'm just curious now. Can we... I know I can make lime. Alright, I'm gonna try querning some stone. First of all, can I just quern any old stone? No. No. I'm sure I can quern limestone, but not any stone. So now what if I do this? And do pebbles? Why can't I smash that into pebbles? Alright, I can smash the chert into pebbles, but not the peridotite. That's interesting. And I cannot quern that. What can I grind? Well, I'm not sure that quern is as useful as I thought it was going to be. And the fact that I can't... Yeah, I need a pulverizer. Okay. So, here's the deal. We're going to need resin. We're going to need a chisel. We're really going to need a lot of stuff, and we're just not there yet, so... This is as good a place as any to end it for the day, or for this episode. I'll probably come back later and stream, but what I'm gonna do off camera is I'm gonna gather up more resources, continue building out the undercarriage, and see if I can get some progress on that. I'll continue working on the leather, and yeah, I think I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. Maybe try to mine out the entirety of the island that I'm on. We'll see. Yeah, because that's pretty straightforward at this point. It's just simply going down here and doing exactly what we did over there. Especially once I get this carriage built. Called an undercarriage, undercart. It's now sticking out exactly one across the entire island, and now that's in place. And that's exactly one. Alright, and this is going to be one out that side. So now let's see. I'm almost going to be able to complete this with the blocks that I have, but not quite. But I feel a lot better knowing that these sides are now covered. And then what we'll do eventually is we'll cover up this oak wood, and that way when we work on that, up above, our drops will come down here to this platform. This platform is coming along nicely. I will fill this in with basalt as well. Yeah, yes, it looks ugly, but you know what? Whatever. Okay, so I'll probably work on this off camera. We'll see you next time on Vintage Story Skyblock.